Hello, Algebra subscribers. Thank you for tuning in again. You are here for lesson 72. We're going to be factoring trinomials today, and you are going to need your stencil, and you're going to need some homework paper. You're going to need your handy-dandy notebook, and it would be nice to have out your algebra reference sheet because I will be referring to that today. You also need your hypercube for interdimensional time travel. Never go leave home without it. These can now be downloaded. If you are a student in the class, you can now go to the Sycamore page and download these on the document tab of our class. Should be on there. You can go and print those off, as many as you want to. So today's subject, factoring trinomials, will be the opposite or the inverse operation of when we did the FOIL method a few lessons back. Foiling is a way of factoring things out, of doing some division, okay? Foiling, well, what did I just say? Foiling is multiplication and factoring is division. So today we're going to pull something apart into its pieces and put them in parentheses. And we're going to be looking at a special case today of trinomials. We're going to take a trinomial of the form ax squared plus bx plus c. And this form here is called the quadratic form, and it's used to graph parabolas. So later on, you'll get to it. We'll make it either a function, f of x equals ax squared plus bx plus c, or if you want to think of it as y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. We're not going to worry about this stuff today. We're not going to be graphing any parabolas. We're going to take a special case of quadratic, and that would be when a equals 1. So you can either have it like that. If that's the truth, then we can kind of ignore that 1 for now and not even worry about it. We're going to worry about this number and this number, whatever they happen to be. Those two parts are going to be the key for us to pull that apart into its pieces. Its two pieces end up being these what are called linear factors because they're x. Okay, you could graph x plus 2 on a graphic calculator, or x minus 3, you could graph that too. So these are called linear factors. The parentheses means multiplication, and you know that when you did the FOIL method, you did first, outside, inside, and last. And when you do that, in this kind of form, you will always get a particular pattern that falls out that is on here. Actually, the FOIL business here is under Common Factoring Examples. It's the fourth one down on your sheet right there. What happens is that, of course, we set up like this. X times x is always going to be x squared. Okay, and we had no number in the front except for an imaginary 1. In the middle, you know that you go outside, you get the x times the b, and then the inside you get the x times the a. So they both are times x, so we can factor out that sum, a plus b, out of there and just have one number. We know that we end up combining those middle pieces anyway when we do the FOIL method. For instance, if we had x plus 2 times x plus 1, we get x squared plus 1x plus 2x plus 2, and then we go ahead and combine those two in there anyway by going, we've got 1 plus 2x. Okay, so that's all we're going to do. We're going to kind of take a little bit of a shortcut. That's what a pattern is. And then the last term will be the product of a times b. So right here we get the sum of a and b, and right here we get the product of a and b. And that's the key right there. We need to first look at this last number and think about all of its potential factors, the numbers that got multiplied to make c. We know that it was the product of two numbers. And we need to find which two numbers will, if we added them together, made this number here where in the form is called b. Okay, so we're looking at the factors of c that add up to b. That's our key today. And I'm going to take you through a few examples. So here's my first one, x squared plus 6x plus 8. We're going to look at this number first, and we're going to run through all of its factors. We know to get a positive 8, you can go a positive 1 times a positive 8, or a positive 2 times a positive 4. There's also a couple more because we need to include if we multiply two negatives together. Negative 1 times negative 8, and negative 2 times negative 4. We know that these negative ones aren't going to work because we need them to sum to a positive 6. So I'm just using my thinking cap here, and I'm going to say I don't really even need those bottom two right now because I know the sum is not going to work for this problem. Okay, I'm taking the math of least resistance here. Now I'm going to go, well, these are my factors, but what about the sums? The sum of 1 and 8 is 9, and the sum of 2 and 4 is 6. If I kept going and did these sums, I get negative 9 and negative 6, so of course we know those don't work, but this is the one that matches what we're looking for. Factors here of 8, 2, and 4 sum together to make 6. So we could rewrite this one as x plus 2, x plus 4. It doesn't matter which one you consider to be A and which one you consider to be B because everything is going to get multiplied by everything else. So you could write this as x plus 4, x plus 2, and that would still be true. But if you just really quickly do your FOIL method thing, you got x squared plus 4x plus 2x plus 8. So there we go. There's our x squared plus 6x plus 8. Okay, that would be the factored form of this trinomial right here. That one was pretty easy because this was positive and that was positive as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start mixing these things up with positives and negatives. And I'll give you one that's a lot like this one. I'm just going to change the sign on this one right here. Okay? And we still have to go through, we want to start here on this letter C, on this number C. We want to go through all the different combinations of factors here. So we look at 8 and we say, oh, it could be a positive 1 or a positive 8, or a negative 1 and a negative 8, positive 2 and a positive 4, and a negative 2 and a negative 4. And we need the sum of negative 6 out of these factors. So again, 1 and 8 makes 9, negative 1 and negative 8 makes negative 9, positive 2 and positive 4 is a positive 6, and a negative 2 and a negative 4 is a negative 6. So there's our winner right there. For this case, we can rewrite this trinomial in a factored form. Again, it doesn't matter which one of these goes first, but you have x minus 2, x minus 4, and we're going to check really quickly, x squared minus 4x minus 2x, and then negative 2 times negative 4 is a positive 8. Okay, so that would get you there. We're going this way, but we could also go the other way and double check on our work. Okay, I'm going to change it again. I got to change this number here to make this one work, but I'm going to go with positive 2 and a negative 8. And this one's a little different here because now my C factor, my C number here, coefficient, constant, is negative. So when I go to factor, it's going to be still 1, 2, 4, and 8, but we have to make one of those factors positive and the other one negative, because that's the only way that we can multiply two things together to get a negative is one of them's positive and one of them's negative. So I can have 1 and 8. I'm going to say this one's positive and that one's negative, or this one's negative and that one's positive. Both of those will work. And then we've got 2 and 4. Maybe you'll say that one's positive, that one's negative, that one's negative, that one's positive. Those are all the factors that if I multiply them together, I get negative 8. And now we look at summing them. 1 and minus 8 is negative 7. Negative 1 and 8 is a positive 7. A positive 2 and a negative 4 is a negative 2. And a negative 2 and a positive 4 is a positive 2. So there's our winner. And we can rewrite this. There's one factor, there's the other. This is A and this is B. X minus 2 times x plus 4. Do the FOIL method, x squared plus 4x minus 2x minus 8. Okay, we did a good job there. I'm going to leave these factors up here because I'm going to do one more, and the only thing I'm going to change is this right here. Okay? We would always play this game with this last number no matter what. So this one, I didn't change the -8, so these are still all the factors, and now I'm looking for the one that sums to a -2, and this time, here's our winning set. And so this one could be factored out as x plus 2 times x minus 4. X squared minus 4x plus 2x minus 8. We get back to that. Okay, so that's kind of all the different possibilities that you could do. Both negative, both positive, one negative, and then the middle piece being either positive or negative as well. All of them are just taking that last number, c, and breaking it down into all of its whole number factors, whole number factors, and then seeing what adds together to make that middle number. The next one's a little bit trickier problem. I'm going to hit pause and put that up there and then talk you through it, but everything else is pretty much pretty easy. This last thing I'm going to show you is the hardest thing that there is. The other two examples in the book are pretty easy. So I'm going to hit pause, clear the board, and then we'll finish this off. Oh, the eraser disappeared. That was weird. Now we got one that's got two variables, and these are a little trickier because they're not in that form that we saw before. But one thing we do know is that in the front you got x squared, and that's because in the front term you had x's. So we know that for sure that we're going to end up with something like this. That's the only way that we could get x squared in the front. We also know that at the back we've got the product of this and this makes 6y squared. It is going to be that there's going to be a y in there for each of those, right? And then we have to find numbers here because we've got an x and a y in the middle. That makes sense because we'd be doing this kind of thing. We got this number here, 6, that we got to figure out how it gets split up between these two pieces to make 5 xy's in the middle. But that shouldn't be too hard. So we got to put our thinking cap on a little bit and just take this down and realize, first of all, y squared's in there, so it's going to have to be y times y on the back end of this. We need to figure out that 6. So we look at all the factors of 6 that make positive 5. And we got 1 and 6, and we've got 2 and 3. And that's it. Positive 2 and a positive 3 would make 5 there. So we can just do that. We say one of these is 2y, and one of these is 3y. And then let's check our math. We've got x squared plus 3xy plus 2xy. That's 5. And then we've got plus 6y squared. So it's a little trickier because the form is slightly different, but you can figure it out. Even in one of the other examples, they put a negative in the back. Now to have this one, x squared plus 2xy minus 3y squared. We still know that there's going to be x's in the front and y's in the back because it's x squareds and we got a y squared. We would need to take the -3 and figure out how it sums to positive 2. So I'm just thinking of the very first one there, -1 and a positive 3 multiply to make -3 when add together to make a positive 2. So we can say plus minus 1y and plus 3y. You can check that in your head, do the foiling, you can see that it works, but it's still the same principle as we used before. If you're looking at example 4 in your book, it says factor the trinomial, but the best thing to do would be to order it first into standard form. That I think is super easy. I don't need to waste your time talking about that. And then example 5, when it says evaluate, it just means plug in the number anytime you see the letter x, I guess it is in that case. So for x equals 3, plug in a 3 every time you see an x. Make sure that it gets squared or to the single power. And there you go. Factoring trinomials is a skill that you're going to use a lot in the future and even in more lessons coming up. So make sure that you've got this down. Look at all the examples, and it's actually kind of fun. So we'll see you in the next episode. Keep up the good work. Don't give up.